Hi guys, a very warm welcome to all of you in our YouTube channel Gurmantra Siksha Kagan, and I'm your educator Saran. And today we're going to learn quite a lot of stuff, okay, about the vectors, its characteristics, the classification of vectors, then the types of vectors, and the most importantly we're going to learn about plasmids, okay. So today's class is very important, so please pay attention. So what is vector? So vectors are DNA molecules that are used as a vehicle to carry foreign DNA. So vectors are vehicle. Vehicle means they act like a carrier. And what do they carry? They carry the gene of interest. That is the gene of interest which we want to insert into the vector. Or we can also call it as a foreign DNA. So vectors are DNA molecules that are used as a vehicle to carry foreign DNA fragments into other cells where they can replicate. So two purposes are there for vectors. Either it can replicate within a cell or it can express whatever DNA fragment it is carrying, the foreign DNA fragment it is carrying. Among these, most commonly used vector is a plasmid. Okay, DNA molecule used for carrying an exogenous DNA. Exogenous means foreign DNA into a host organism and facilitate stable integration and replication inside the host system is called as vector. Okay. So what is a cloning vector? By cloning means one can produce unlimited amount of the same DNA fragment. Cloning means, what do you understand by cloning? Cloning is nothing but same thing. You're going to produce the same thing. Identical copies, right? That is what we call it as cloning. So cloning a vector means the vectors are going to get cloned. Particular fragment of DNA is going to get cloned. Multiple copies will be produced. Okay. DNA is isolated. So first step is isolation of DNA. And then cut pieces are introduced into a suitable host cell. So the DNA, the whole DNA, we cannot put it inside the vector. So whatever gene of interest is required for you, whatever protein you want to express or whatever DNA you are going to clone, that particular segment that is called as gene of interest. The gene which you are interested in cloning, that alone you're going to take and you're going to insert it inside a vector. Then the whole vector plus the gene of interest is called as recombinant DNA. Now this recombinant DNA is inserted into a host. For example, it can be an E. coli cell where it is replicated. So the recombinant DNA will be replicated inside E. coli as the cell grows and divides. We use a cloning vector when our aim is just to obtain numerous copies of our gene of interest. Okay, so cloning vector is used when we just want to produce large amount of DNA. Okay, our gene of interest. These are mostly used in construction of gene libraries. For the construction of gene libraries, cloning vectors are mostly used. So vectors should have the following characteristics. So what are the characteristics that vector must possess? First, it should be able to replicate within a host cell. After going inside a host cell, it should be able to replicate, increase its number. Have compatible restriction site for insertion of DNA molecule, right? If the restriction site is compatible only, then we will be able to insert the gene of interest inside the vector. Capable of autonomous replication inside the host, which means it should have a origin of replication. Smaller in size, it should be smaller in size and should be able to incorporate larger insert size. It should have a selectable marker for screening the recombinant cells from the normal cells. So these are some of the characteristics that a vector must possess. So now let's understand what is expression vectors. Expression vector simply means you're going to express the gene of interest, which means you want the result as a protein. So that is what expression vectors do. They not only incorporate the gene of interest in them and get cloned, but also they produce the product. Okay, a vector which is designed to allow expression, which means transcription will happen, mRNA will be produced, translation will happen, protein will be produced of the insert section of DNA, which means our gene of interest. The vector carries a promoter, okay, and it is normally inducible, which means it requires a stimuli for transcription to occur on one side of the cloning site, and a transcription terminator. Terminator means the transcription ends. There must be recognizable by the intended host cell. So this vector should be recognizable by the host cell. We use an expression vector when our aim is to obtain the protein product of the gene of interest. To get the protein we need to allow the expression of our gene of interest by employing the process of transcription and translation. And for this purpose only promoter and terminator are present in the expression vectors. That is not necessarily required in the cloning vectors. If you want expression, promoter should be there. It is very important. So the important features of cloning vector is that it should be able to replicate within the host cell. It should have restriction site, then it should have a selectable marker, and its size should be less. Okay. So basically vectors are classified as so many types. So vectors for bacteria. So these are special bacterial origin of replication. Okay. And it has antibiotic resistant selectable marker. Bacteria supports different kinds of vectors like plasmid, bacteriophage vector, cosmid, phasmid, and phagemid. These are some of the types of vectors that is supported in bacteria. Next is vectors for yeast. So they have a special origin of replication in yeast, and it is called as autonomously replicating sequences or ARS sequence. And where do you find this? Yeast replicative plasmid vectors. Vectors for animals. So these vectors are required in biotechnology because you can synthesize recombinant protein from the genes that are not necessarily expressed correctly when cloned in E. coli or yeast. So sometimes what happens is eukaryotic genes cannot be cloned in E. coli or yeast. Okay, eukaryotic genes. Of course, yeast is also eukaryotic only, but there are some genes, some sequence of DNA which cannot be cloned in E. coli. And for that reason, we are going to use animals as a vector. Okay, animal cell as a vector for the production of our desired gene of interest. And this can be used especially for the gene therapy where the patient can be treated with a cloned gene into the patient. Example, P element and SV40. Vectors for plants. The production of genetically modified plants have become possible due to the useful use of the plant vectors like Pi plasmid and Ri plasmid. You would have heard about Agrobacterium tumefaciens, and there are plasmids for plants like BT toxin, and it is used for like BT cotton, BT brinjal. So all of these vectors will be used. So now we are going to learn about the types of vectors. Okay, the first one is plasmids. So plasmids are basically extra chromosomal genetic material that is found in bacteria. This you guys all know. They are very small in size, they are circular, they can replicate independently without the help of bacterial chromosome, and they are mostly found in bacteria, archaea, and some of the multicellular organisms. So under plasmid itself, there are several kinds of classification. Okay, the first one is fertility plasmid. So fertility plasmid is also known as F plasmid. Okay, fertility plasmid is also known as F plasmid, and it contains genes that can be useful for transfer from one cell to another. Okay, genetic material is passed from one cell to another through conjugation. Through conjugation pili, it will be passed. For example, F plasmid of E. coli. Next is Col plasmid. Col plasmid contains genes that make bacteriocins. Okay, bacteriocins will be made. Also known as amino acid colicins. which are protein that kill the other bacteria, and thus it will help the defense of the host bacteria. Bacteriocins are nothing but they will kill other bacteria, but that will not affect the host bacteria. Example, call E1 of E. coli. Next you have resistance plasmid. So resistance plasmid will have genes that will help the bacteria to defend itself, protect itself against the environmental factors like antibiotics. So antibiotic resistance is a very common thing and emerging, booming nowadays, right? So that is due to resistance plasmid. And for example, RP4 in Pseudomonas. Next, you have degradative plasmid. Degradative plasmid helps in the host bacterium to digest the compounds that are found in nature like camphor, xylene, toluene. So these plasmids contain the gene for the enzymes. Okay, these enzymes will break down the compounds so that these organisms can utilize it. Okay, for example, Pseudomonas putida. It is a superbug, right? Pseudomonas putida was actually synthesized by Anand Mohan Chakravarti, right? It is a superbug. And what does it do? It can actually clear out the oil spills which is present in the ocean, sometimes due to leakage in the shipment. Next, you have virulence plasmid. Virulence plasmid, the name itself says the story. This plasmid is going to provide the virulence to the bacteria, and the bacteria will become pathogenic. For example, TI plasmid of Agrobacterium tumefaciens. This causes crown gall disease, which means cancer type disease in the plants. So one more term which you should be highly familiar with is copy number. The copy number refers to the fact that different plasmid occurs in cells in different numbers. So how many number of plasmid is present within a cell is called as copy number. Some plasmids are present in the cell like 1 to 3 copies, where others will be like hundreds of copies. So it is a good characteristic of a plasmid vector that it has high copy number. Okay, plasmid vector should have high copy number. So some important components of plasmid. What does basically a plasmid contain? It has origin of replication. So that is the site where the replication starts. So a DNA sequence that will allow the bacteria to make more copies of the plasmid, like for growth and division. Okay. Next, antibiotic resistance gene will be present as in plasmid, because we have to screen the recombinant DNA from the normal DNA. And for this reason, plasmid will contain antibiotic resistance gene. So that is a specific gene that will allow the bacteria with the plasmid to grow in the presence of an antibiotic specific, okay, to that gene. For example, ampicillin resistant gene will be there. If we are going to grow the bacteria in the ampicillin medium, the bacteria will still grow because it has a resistance gene, right? Next is it should have a gene of interest. Okay, we are interested in a particular gene, right? A DNA sequence that will be coding for a particular protein that a scientist or a researcher is interested in. So that should be there. Next, it should have a promoter. Promoter is very important if it is an expression vector, because if promoter is there, only then transcription will happen. Next is it should have a restriction site. If a vector does not, or a plasmid does not have a restriction site, then how are you going to insert the gene of interest inside it? So restriction site is important. So you can see in this picture a perfect picture about plasmid. So what are the components inside a plasmid? You can see it has a promoter region, gene of interest. For this expression, promoter is needed. Restriction site, you have antibiotic resistance, and you have origin of replication. So these are the components of plasmid. Okay, so this table also tells us about the components of the plasmid only, like it should have an origin of replication, antibiotic resistance gene, it should have a multiple cloning site. You should know what is a multiple cloning site. Multiple cloning site is nothing but it is a short segment of DNA that contains several of the restriction sites. Okay, multiple cloning site means it contains several restriction sites where you can insert your gene of interest. Next, you have an insert, that is the gene. Then you have a promoter region, selectable marker. Selectable marker can be antibiotic resistance or it can be a laxi gene. Next type of vectors you have is bacteriophage lambda, lambda bacteriophage vector. Viruses are basically involved in this. So phage lambda is a bacteriophage or phage, that is bacterial virus that uses E. coli as a host. And its structure is typically it has head, it has a tail, it has a fiber and some DNA material. Lambda viral genome, it has 485 kilobase per linear DNA with 12 bases, single stranded DNA. Sticky ends will be present for hybridization purpose. Example, you have phage, lambda phage, you have M13 phage. Next you have cosmid. So cosmid vectors are a combination of plasmid vector and a cos site. Cos site is basically present in virus. So this will allow the target DNA to be inserted into the lambda's head region. Example, PJB8. Next you have artificial chromosomes. These chromosomes which we have saw now in the vectors, all of that are natural. There are artificial chromosomes which has been synthesized in the lab for the purpose of DNA cloning and expression. Artificial chromosomes are DNA molecules, okay, that are assembled in vitro and that will guarantee stable maintenance of the large fragments of DNA useful for the genome sequencing program. Genome, we can understand that, and transduction of large DNA segment into human or mammalian species. Okay, so types of artificial chromosomes, you have bacterial artificial chromosome or we can call it as BAC, and you have yeast artificial chromosome which we call it as YAC. About this in detail we will be studying in the future lectures, but for now you should know artificial chromosomes include BAC and YAC. Okay, so that is all for today guys about the vectors. I hope you guys have understood about the vectors well. In the comment section you can mention about the experience of your class. If you are a CSIR net aspirant and are interested in joining Unacademy, you can follow Neha Taneja ma'am, and for obtaining 10% off you can use the referral code Neha. You can like, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel Gurmantra. If you have any queries, you can contact us anytime you want. Thank you so much guys and have a nice day.